careers. Now that's jobs in science, technology, engineering, and math. They accounted for nearly 8.6 million jobs back in 2015, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And you know that number's only gone up.
Yeah, our next guests are leading the way for tomorrow's innovators with an out-of-this-world competition. Here to explain, please welcome Deanne Bell with Future Engineers and one of this year's winners, Miss Lauren Lee herself. You're just 13 years old. So cool having you both here. So explain a little bit about this competition. What exactly is it, Deanne?
Yeah, so Future Engineers is an online hub for national engineering innovation challenges for kindergarten through 12th grade students. But specifically, we issue challenges getting students all across the country designing objects for astronauts to 3D print in space. So the Mars Medical Challenge, which Lauren won, was our 5th challenge, and we asked students to design a 3D printed medical device to print on a journey to Mars.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I know you've entered a couple of times, and you won this time. What did you create?
So my device is the drug delivery device, and it was inspired by my younger sister, who has a nut allergy and has to carry an EpiPen. So I thought it'd be cool to design something like an EpiPen, but that can address astronauts' medical needs in space. So it can be loaded with any medication, not just epinephrine, and it also can be self-administered. So the first thing that you usually do is if you were to use it, you'd pull back. This white part is like a syringe, so you'd load the medication and then spring load it. So when it's ready to be used,
This is so cool.
I love it.
the spring would be loaded, and then you could simply release it into your body.
Wow.
Thank you.
Now, okay, how do you know how to do this?
I started my friends and I, my best friend actually has, her mom is a really cool 3D engineer, and she teaches other students how to 3D design. So we started a club, and we started out doing small 3D design challenges, and then we started entering in Future Engineers.
I love that. And for a lot of us, I mean, we've heard the term 3D printing. I think a lot of us are now familiar with it. But if you had to just give a basic description, because I know some people out there are like, how do you print something in 3D? It's essentially layers, right?
So 3D printing is basically designing something using software on a computer, and then sending that file to a printer that can understand how to print something in not just 2 dimensions, but 3 dimensions. So most 3D printers print using like a layer of filament, kind of like a hot glue gun, where it puts layers of this plastic down, and then it slowly builds up.
Well, in winning this challenge, it was you and then an older student. You guys got to go to Johnson Space Center. Okay, I'm a little jealous over here. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was seeing Mission Control. I've seen Mission Control in a lot of movies and TV shows, so it was really amazing to see Mission Control in real life. We got to see the videos of what the astronauts are doing on ISS, which was so cool. And we also got to see where the ISS was on the globe, which I also really liked. In the Mission Control, we also met astronaut Reed Wiseman, who talked to us about what it was like on the ISS and gave us.
Did you ask him a question?
I did ask him some questions. I asked him what the training was like on space, and they do 2 hours of exercise every day to keep their muscles.
Oh, wow.
To keep their muscles ready to go back and walk on gravity.
I'm kind of getting the feeling that you want to go up into space.
I do. That would be my dream job, astronaut.
So that's your ultimate goal with all this. Eventually you want to walk in space.
That would be awesome.
You know what? Something tells me you just might get there. I think you can totally do that. Deanne, this kind of technology is really helpful when it comes to astronauts. So explain a little bit about some of the various uses.
Right, so 3D printing here on Earth, you know, they're popping up in schools, 3D printers everywhere, and students are developing these design skills to basically take their ideas, create that digital model, and 3D print it right here on Earth. But think about it in space. If you need something, there's no hardware store to go to.
Right.
Oh yeah, of
Can't go to the corner store.
You know, Amazon Prime's good, but it's not that good yet. So the ability to manufacture in space is not only important for the International Space Station, but thinking further to destinations like the Moon and Mars, it's going to be critical. And the great thing is, if the astronauts need something, you know, that data can be sent. You know, a design that Lauren makes could be sent, you know, to an astronaut, and they could 3D print it right there on demand.
So Lauren could design it here on Earth, send the data to space, they could print it. Essentially, if you don't have something you need, you make it right
yourself.
there.
Yeah, they're doing that already. Actually, the winner of our very first challenge was the first student-designed 3D print on the International Space Station. They sent that data up there, printed it, and yeah, so that's just the beginning of this whole world of 3D printing in space.
You got to be blown away, though, seeing all the entries come in and seeing being, I mean, like her creation is fantastic, but something that you saw here on Earth as a daily need for someone that would potentially be used in space too. It's got to be fascinating.
It's fascinating, and we have students all across the country submitting designs, and the creativity that students like Lauren have is just boundless. And so for us, it's really exciting to see them not just making things for fun, but making things that are relevant. Incorporating. NASA's doing this great research, and they're incorporating students in that endeavor, and it's really exciting.
And the STEM-based learning. I mean, we mentioned at the top of this segment that millions of jobs are in this STEM arena: science, technology, engineering, math. Why is STEM? I mean, I guess it's an obvious question that STEM education is critical, right?
It's critical to innovation. It's critical to our nation's economy, and there's a lot of jobs that need to be filled. And there's no better way to start than engaging students when they're young with just turning their ideas into reality, engineering things, innovating.
Especially girls. I think sometimes girls kind of steer away. That's been the past, but starting to see that transition of girls really getting into the math and the science and the technology, just like the boys.
Yeah. So I'm a female engineer, and I love engineering. I'm like an engineering fangirl, and so my passion is really connecting engineering with everyone, but particularly with girls. Research shows that we really need to connect with girls, in these ages, right? And explain to them what engineering is and how it can empower their life. So it's a passion of mine. It's so awesome to know that she isn't just doing this alone. She has a 3D printing club at home with a bunch of girls.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I do. So that's when I was talking about my friends and I, we started a club. It's for 3D design, and I think all of us want to go into a career in STEM when we're older. So I think it's really cool that we have the ability to work in it and experience it when we're younger.
I'm kind of thinking you might always be creating stuff. Always thinking, aren't you?
I think you're probably right. Deanna, we should quickly point out that you are a mom, an engineer, but you also have a show on CNBC.
Yes. So I'm an engineer, I'm a mom, and I host a show on CNBC called Make Me a Millionaire Inventor. I get to work with adult inventors that have an idea to help them prototype it and turn it into a business. And then I founded Future Engineers about 3 years ago, and I get to work with young inventors, helping them learn how to prototype ideas and make inventions with the American Society of Mechanical Engineers and NASA, all of our challenges that we issue. It's so fun. I love my job.
You have another challenge coming up soon, right?
We do, yes. So the challenges are completely free. Students can do them at home. Teachers can use them in class. Go to futureengineers.org. Our next challenge launches in September, and it will be another 3D printing and space challenge, and everyone's welcome to participate.
You're not going to tell us what it is, are you?
Nope, nor her.
Deanne, Lauren, thank you so much for stopping by. Girl power.
Yes.
The future. Coming up, back to school fashion for a cause. The Galleria is teaming